just now getting set up. Let's see. We will start up my playlist. Um, Here's the book so far. There's going to be more pages than this, I think. Um, oh, and this is something interesting that I was working on for my daughter. Um, because she's interested in animation. So, um, the way that the Moho program works is it's like a puppet animation program. And the way you work with that is that you have each segment of the drawing that moves is on a separate layer. So, click off the visibility on these bit by bit. So, if she can program each individual thing to move, then we'll have an animation, sort of like a little paper doll puppet, but on the screen. And it's a really cool concept, but it does not work with the trial version. So we're going to be looking into getting the actual whole big deal. But yeah, I wanted an animated deer. Not yet. It'll be in the future. Alright, let's close out of that and get back to whatever it was we were working on. Here we have what's currently page 8, but things will probably be reshuffled. We have a sketch of Connie feeding well, she's not feeding them in this one, but she's showing these piebald twins on her TikTok, and she'll also repost them to Instagram. And these were from a while back. So go take a look at Magnolia Phone Rescue on TikTok and on Instagram if you want to see more videos of uh, the deer that Connie rescues. I heard the updated number today, y'all. She has 91 fawn that she is taking care of. Please go check it out. Um, even when these deer don't make it, they have the best made of the situation. Um, Even when their lives are shortened, they've had the best possible life thanks to Connie and her hard work, and so much of the time she can keep them alive. She can make them live. It's really incredible. So yeah, go check out Magnolia Phone Rescue and watch the videos. Their little lives matter. So here we are in what's going to be my representation of that picture. And let's see. I should probably import that one so that it can be in the background of this as I paint it. So let's see. So we go into import image. We look at all this stuff. Oh wow, it's there. Oh good, I don't have to like track it down. And see, what I would do here is take down the um, opacity. It's not a word I have heard in person. So anyway, I make it see-through. Let's call it that. And let's see how I did um, working with it from my tablet. Um, sort of, kind of, almost. Um, mm, do I trace this over and start over with it? Or, like, I'm so close in so many spots here, but they're a little bit, the proportions are a little bit off. Hmm. I'm not up to photorealism, am I? So let's see. Actually, I was worried for this whole thing that I had her hand too large. And I was actually right on. Hmm. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct some of this here with this shoulder and the arm, because that's kind of important. And oh, I set down my tablet earlier because I was busy typing, and it's kind of hard to type when the tablet's in front. Okay, so what I'm going to do is leave this hand and arm in focus, correct this thumb a little bit, probably do a cut and paste to tilt her head and face forward a bit. Maybe do the same with this phone right here. I keep wanting to say phone instead of fawn. I guess it's the word that I have been more accustomed to saying my whole life. I don't even know. And in the video, this little guy was wiggling all over the place. So I'm sure it doesn't matter so much if he's a little bit off from the screenshot I was able to get. And this little one here, though, he was being very good. Okay. So we will lasso this baby a little bit. And scoot her over here. And cannot believe how close I got to getting this arm right. And it was the thing I was worried so much about. Yeah, instead of redrawing the whole thing, which would be a little frustrating. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut and scoot what I had. Redraw a couple things. Also, clothes. It's until you get used to drawing clothes, It's probably better to trace them somewhat. Okay. We will get rid of some extra lines before they get confusing. Alright, down here. And I guess this right here, where I subconsciously reposed Connie, even though I was trying really hard to get it exactly like my reference. See, look how close I came here. It's just because when you draw, your brain puts things in their usual places. And if your usual places are... oh, let's scoot her up here for a bit and move this ear down. So if the usual places that you see a portrait of somebody, if that's like straight on, like school photo type portrait, then subconsciously you're going to be drawing that. And you know, I'm gonna kind of kick myself over it a little bit, or I'm tempted to kick myself a bit over that, but I have to admit, I didn't do half bad. Like, I came really close. Baseball caps. Baseball caps are hard, y'all. Okay. So let's scoot this down here. We'll fix the ear. The head and neck angle is not bad, actually. And a little rumple in the shirt. Her hair can stay this fluffy. That's kind of usual there. And her shoulder was right over here. But I don't know. The ear can probably stay in front of it. Okay. Alright, it looks right to me now. But that may just be because I have her behind it. Let's hide the photo reference. Okay, I have not destroyed things. Well, I may have destroyed some of the background a little bit, but that's okay. I already knew the background wasn't perfect. And let's fix the baseball cap. I forgot to finish fixing it. There. Why are baseball caps so difficult? You'd think that it would not be that difficult of a shape. But I guess it's kind of common. Or rather, the more common something is that you see it every day, the more your brain will do these little shortcuts that mess you up. Okay, hide that again. This is stuff that makes sense. And let me show you something. This is so fun. Well, not sure fun, but okay. So you notice maybe up here in the upper left corner of this picture, this looks like a little toaster, a little bread warmer toaster. Where that's close. That's close, but it's an incubator. So I always think it's so funny that when she gets in a very young fawn and that it needs to stay warm, she has she has a little bread box toaster for them to spend some time in. Okay, wait. Let's scoot this here. Let's double check that I have not destroyed anything with the wrist. Oh, right. Down here. So there's the little neck and there's the wrist. And we're going to make sure that looks right. Because foreshortening is just difficult. Yeah, maybe someday. Someday I will consider myself actually kind of good. Because, I mean, art is not this arbitrary thing you just say to each their own, no accounting for taste, um, and however it turns out, so be it. It's not. Okay, all that stuff is a myth. Art is created to a standard. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish with it, and you have to be able to look at it and say whether or not it actually got accomplished. Okay, strangely, this is actually working out much better now. I like to pose. Um, the foreshortening is working. The angle's working. Okay, things are good. I think it's about time to pop a new layer on top and do some painting. Okay, what do I start with? Let's start. Let's start with some undertones for Connie's skin. Now, it's digital painting, so I do not actually have to put undertones. I could do this by going through the whole color wheel thing. and mixing each color, or I could just pull directly from. Okay, is that the same thing going? Is that why? Yes. Or I could just pull directly from the photo. But that won't allow me to adjust things where I want to adjust them. And it will be a bit more of a departure from uh, traditional methods than I would like to have show in the work. Okay, so I know by now probably everybody, I don't know. I don't know about everybody, but maybe everybody, because a lot of the people I follow, at least, we've all heard a lot of hype about AI and how there's artificially generated images for everything. And there's artificially generated entire books. And that's got to be annoying. I would not want to read a Chat GPT novel. Um, I would. I believe that art is a form of communication. You break down the word communication, you'll notice the word commune. Like you are giving and getting something to and from the creator of the work. Are you with me so far? This this might sound a little woo woo, but I'm I'm telling you, because you are getting something from the soul of the creator, something that comes across even if they don't consciously say so, even if it can hardly be picked up on. And maybe it's just something as simple as a word choice in an 80,000 word book, or a color choice in a painting, whether it's digital or not, um, or the choice of the subject and how it's posed and arranged, and what has the brighter colors and what has the darker colors. That's not entirely left up to the eye of the camera or to uh, whatever the average is that the AI is pasting together. It is the artists or the writers or the musicians' unique vision for their piece, and it's not done until they say it's done, until they look at it and can tell and can declare it so that yes, this is finished now. It may be leaving out some things that no one else would leave out. It may include things that no one else would leave in. It may have, honestly, errors and tricks of perspective that do not or cannot exist in real life, and that a computer would not have ever put in there. Alright, so when you're experiencing art, art is something that cannot be counterfeited by a computer. It can't. It's communication. It is communing with something with a soul. So AI art, it might work for skimming through for a moment, If you just want something with bright colors that sort of kind of represents, hang on, got something off my screen. Um, if you just want something to add a splash of color your uh, to your Facebook page, or something eye-catching that people will look at and then read your book blurb, you know, maybe AI works for that. But it doesn't work so much for communicating with people. It's like a it's like an unclear, dreamlike image that doesn't actually communicate anything. You know, you ever try to read something and that you while you're trying to, you know, have you ever tried to make sense of a dream after you wake up? That's kind of like what AI is. It's just too odd. It doesn't make any sense after you wake up and you can apply logic to it and you can think things over. So now we've got a new problem. Now we have books being generated by AI. There is no purpose to this. There's just not. You're not communicating with a person. You're not getting anything from it. It's just killed the entire reason to read. And we have images generated by AI, and it's not art. It's just killed the entire reason that we even bother to look at art. We wanted to see what this artist saw and chose as something that was important to them to emphasize. And there's not a person behind it. There's just averages and algorithms and whatever that got plugged into it got spit back out in this order. So no, AI is not art. AI is not writing. And the idea now that people have that, oh, I can get art and writing for free, without having to learn how to be an artist and represent it. Well, if that's all you care about, you could certainly attempt to do things that way, but you're just cheating the world of seeing what your vision is. And that's just kind of sad, y'all. So I would say to use it as a tool, but not as the finished product. So all this long rant about AI, and here I am having art streams that average an hour, or an hour and a half, or 2 hours, or they just kind of keep going because this is how we do things, apparently. Because I get in the zone and I completely forget about what time it is. Um, so I'm in here doing live art streams, showing my process, showing what I find to be the most important. I want to communicate with you. You're here and you're watching this, and thank you for one. I appreciate you being here. And I want to communicate with you. I want to show you what I'm working on. And I want you to see it. And, this is from one being with a soul to another, and also about another. This is important to me. And I want you to see that. It's important enough that, I'm taking this time, and I have taken all this time, all the times that you haven't seen, all the years that I have spent practicing my art, just so that I can show you that this is possible. And I still consider, okay, I was going to say I still consider myself a beginner. Okay, but that's a little disheartening to hear. Maybe I consider myself intermediate. And if you would like to start drawing, I just want to tell you that that's awesome, and that it's mostly about training your eye. You train your eye, and then you get your hand to obey what your eye is telling you. And also, don't let your brain trick you into taking weird little shortcuts that make sense in that dream logic kind of way, but not so much in real life. One of the one of the fastest ways to get better as an artist is to draw from reference. Now, if you've got really tricky perspectives to work with, like this one for example, where she's sitting on the floor, the camera's angled slightly up, not quite a worm's eye view, but kind of getting there. The camera's on the floor lower than she is. Plus she's leaning forward. Plus she's got um, two deer in her lap, and uh, the normal proportions of hand to face don't apply because her hand's so much closer to the camera than her face. All right, so we've got all that going on with this. So this is a good one to work with a picture. Like you work from a photograph for something that's this tricky with the perspective and composition. But if you're working with something else like landscapes, for example, that you should get out there and in the sunshine and bring your sketchbook, bring paints and an easel, bring whatever you need, bring some water. It's hot out there. Um, well, it's hot out there around here. I don't know where y'all are. And try drawing from life, from outside, from seeing what the light is like and capturing it, or curl up on the couch, wait for your cat. And when your cat shows up, provided that she's not actually on top of your sketch pad, you draw her. It's very hard to draw your cat, though. They shift around a lot, even when you think they're being perfectly still. Now, don't worry, this is just underpainting so far. It's going to look much more reasonable before too much longer. Now, one of the things with painting from uh, Instagram repost from TikTok of a video that was taken on a phone, um, the lighting is not great. So that's another reason why, instead of trying to do this as like a photo picture book, I'm I'm painting it, because with paint, well, with digital paint, the magic of digital paint, I am able to add in details and lighting that would not be possible if I was just retouching photos and trying to edit them in. I guess I could do it that way, but I'm not, and I don't want to. And I think that's one of the better things about being an independent creator. So I have my own. Oh, gracious. It's hard to say. It was a big goal for a long time, so I still can't say easily that I have my own publishing company. I was terrified for far too long. And honestly, I can't say that there was nothing to fear about the process because it's it's been a ride. Um, it's been positively fraught with drama and weirdness and crazy things happening to my listing on Amazon. Um, but yeah, I worked my way through it. I am an independent publisher. So far, I've published my own work. But as I get better, I'm looking into more collaborative projects, and like this one is, and also eventually I might publish um, from other people. I might open up subs. Okay, let's get out the blendy thing. About midway there. Okay. And I might publish other people's works as well. I mean, I would love to support the arts in more ways than just publishing my own work. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, as you paint, as you go through like adjusting the light and shadow on your subject's face, there will be times when they'll resemble somebody else. And for a second there, to me, she reminded me of my other sister, Deborah, which makes sense because Connie is also Deborah's sister. Um, but I will try not to make this a picture of Deborah. I've got a picture of Connie right here to work from. I will keep this to the right sister. That was just funny for a minute. I don't even know if people who know both Connie and Deborah would even see what I saw for that second, but it was funny to me, and that's what counts. Okay, so I'm gonna use a slightly darker tone to sketch in where Connie's nose is, so it doesn't get lost in here while I do stuff. Let's see. It's a little bit wide. Yeah, that's better. Let's blend this out. So yeah, I've been here about 45 minutes painting, and um, Mostly what I've done is mix some skin tones. Well, I've also corrected some proportions and perspective. So there is that. I've gotten somewhere. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little bit tense about the details of the face and wanting to zoom in a ton and do the pixel by pixel thing. Now, I've said on my streams before, I really am trying to break that habit. So, this is, even this is zooming in too far for, what for what's going to matter on the page in print. So I'm just gonna denote where a few important features are. And I mean, I would like to finish out the face like right now, but I need to back off and do something with the rest of the painting. So yeah, I know I hate leaving the eyes and the mouth undone midway through a painting, but I'm gonna have to stop, back off, do something a little different, because getting stuck here is not going to be productive for the rest of my time. Okay. Breathe and back off. What now? So with the deer in front, what I think I should do next here is Connie's shirt. And it's a sort of uh, grayish green. So I should go into the additional color set. Let's see, that one's a little bit yellow. Okay, here we have some muted greens. These are nice. Um, it looks like that. Darker? Hmm. Well, even if it is darker, I'll take the one that's midway between here so that I can have some room to work with mid-range and shadows and highlights. So, I believe in this shirt. I believe in this picture. The shirt she's wearing is one of the Magnolia Fallen Rescue t-shirts that has the logo for Magnolia Fallen on the back of it. And it's a very pretty shirt and a very pretty logo, if I do say so myself, because I'm the original designer of the logo. So when she first started the rescue, she was asking, what name she should go with for it. And I don't remember what the other options were for names, but Magnolia Fawn uh, captured my imagination, and I thought of a little fawn curled up in a magnolia flower. And I drew that. It was mixed media. Um, it was pencil and pen and marker and watercolor, whatever I had on hand. Um, and I worked it out really quickly and sent it to her. And she liked that so much that uh, she went with Magnolia Fawn for the name, and it's been the logo ever since. So, oh, recently, however, like just recently, like I got out of the shower and thought, you know what? There's an even better idea. Well, all my ideas seem even better than previous ones. That's why I'm so loaded with work. Um, an even better one to do with Magnolia Fawn. And, it just struck me like it's the most brilliant thing. And so now it's kind of killing me because I have this awesome idea and I don't have any time to paint different things. I've still got that commission that I was supposed to get done with months ago that I had lost all my progress on. That in between, I don't show it on here, but in between doing these art streams, I do try and knock out at least a little bit on it. Um, and uh, I have another couple of smaller comms to work on. I tried not to book June very heavily, but I still have a few things. And this I'm making sure that I'm getting it done because I want you to know that if you back the Kickstarter project, that yes, this is a thing. Yes, it's happening. Um, I know that Kickstarter says that there are no guarantees for the projects being done, and they don't really let you say that it's a pre order for the book, um, which they used to, I think. But, I really am getting done with this. If you back the Kickstarter, your money is not disappearing into the ether, never to be heard from again, and you don't get any book. No, Kickstarter has a all or nothing funding model. So if we don't reach the $1,000 to fund the print run, then uh, you never get charged for it, and it just doesn't happen. But the print, the costs of printing the book are literally the only thing we need to be concerned with. Um, I have the ISBN. I have the publishing business. Um, Not that it's a profitable business currently, um, because I've already laid out a lot of money in publishing my own books. Um, but I have the ability to publish the book. I just don't have the funds to print it currently. Rue, why are you meowing? Why, Rue? I'm trying to tell people things. Okay, that's whatever my cat had to say about the subject. And hang on, let me see what exactly I am looking at from my reference picture. And I got to figure out where was I going with this. So, anyway, you don't have to worry that your contribution's going to disappear. I mean, for one, if we don't raise the full $1,000, then no money's ever going to be charged to your card. The second thing is, if we do raise the full $1,000 to fund the print run, um, there's nothing stopping me from printing it then. Like, literally, all we need are the funds to do it. Uh, like, I don't have to find another printer because the printing company has, it's the place for independent books to be printed. If you know, you know. Um, and you don't have to worry that um, that the fulfillment company won't ship it out. I'm my own fulfillment company. Um, I've worked for my family's business, shipping shipping and handling, and I know how to ship things. I know how to pack. I know how to make sure that. Okay, let's go back to our first color set. Um, I know how to make sure that your items will arrive in great condition. Okay, so I know the packing, the padding, the correct format for addresses. I can get it to you. 100% confident about that. I mean, it was my job for years. Um, you don't have to worry that the artist is suddenly going to ghost and not complete the work because here I am doing the art right now. And you don't have to worry about the writer because it's being written by myself and also by Connie. Um, she'll be going over everything too. But here I am, right here. I cannot ghost myself. And I wouldn't ghost y'all. Um, the the whole process of getting the publishing done, uploading it to the printer and proofreading and everything, and verifying the files and stuff. I've already done that with my novel, which, if you're interested in looking at that, you'll be able to find it on Amazon and at Books a Million and all the other places actually, because it's not a Kindle exclusive thing. So my novel is called Penance, a Teen Heroes Unleashed. Uh, it's it's a superhero novel, Teen Heroes Unleashed. Let's see, with the subtitle and everything. It's a little bit long. Um, but it's a young adult book, and the new edition is illustrated. So um, I've also already published an illustrated book, and I know a lot of the ins and outs of that as well. Let's see. Let's get this muted blue. Yeah, Connie's in here, in her kitchen, on the floor, in blue jeans, and with deer on her lap. Let's see, these were actually a little more vivid. Yeah, a bit more like this. So yeah, if you go and back the Kickstarter, um, it's just me, and also Connie. But Connie's mostly going to be supplying the stories and also, of course, her signature once it's done. Um, so I don't I don't want to push her to make her any more busy than she already is. I mentioned the 91 fawn in the barn currently, and they need fed every 3 hours like a newborn baby. So we're not going to be doing anything to cut into her sleep hours. I want to make this whole process as smooth for her as possible. And I got this. It wouldn't be the first time I've put out a new book solo, as far as, the producing of it. So there's not really going to be a problem with getting done. So the only thing that it worries me is that I would love to have this book done, not just written and edited and illustrated and all the things by, you know, all that, but also done in the sense that there are physical print copies. And what I really want is to have those physical print copies out by Christmas. And I mean, not just, by Christmas Day, they might show up. I mean, to have them ready by the Christmas event, the Christmas fair that Connie has for the rescue in November. And I would really love to have it done and be available by then. Now, how possible is that? It's possible if we get in pre-orders. And then I don't have to worry about um, saving up that money to get it printed in time to get it printed. So yeah, all I'm gonna need is for the Kickstarter to go well, and we'll have a book. And of course, I need to be able to apply myself exclusively to the book, so I'm not going to be open for more commissions um, until after I get the book printed. I'll finish up the ones that I have going on now. And then I'm closed for commissions until November, as far as I can tell. And November will be taken up with uh, signing, packaging, and shipping out. Just making sure that everybody who pre-ordered, or well, if I still can't say technically pre-ordered, if everyone who pledged to receive a book gets one. I want to make sure that those backers get theirs first, and then I can worry about bringing some to the Christmas fair. All that depends on how well the Kickstarter does. And if you are interested in looking up the Kickstarter and uh, backing that, you can look up, let's see, um, Kickstarter.com. Well, alright. I tried to do this earlier today, I tried to just search it up by looking up OtherRealm Studio on Kickstarter, but it didn't work. I'm not sure if it was just because my phone was being uh, my phone's internet was being a little bit iffy. So what did work was looking up Magnolia Phone book on Kickstarter. So if you search that, then you should be able to get to the page where Magnolia Phone children's book is listed. So it's kickstarter.com/OtherRealm Studio /Magnolia-phone-children/book, and you should be able to find that. I will pop that up on screen in just a minute. But if I do that right this second, then I'm gonna lose where I've already painted white, and it will be terribly confusing for me. I do sometimes paint illustrations on a colored background. Should probably get back to that. Okay, so where we have all my. Okay, so here we have the Kickstarter page for the Magnolia Phone children's book. You can see up here kickstarter.com/project/OtherRealm Studio /Magnolia phone children's book. Um, and if you stop by and see it, even if you don't back the book, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the remind me button, or if you would hit any of these share buttons and share to your social media. That would be fantastic. I would appreciate that so much. I believe this book deserves to be made. And no matter what, it will be made. It's just going to be a little bit tricky to get it printed. And you know, it's hard to enjoy a children's book if it's not printed. But we will have an ebook eventually. And we're offering signed paperbacks. We're offering books sent to the rescue. Well, now we are. I just put that on today. We're offering books plus the art print. And you can even get 10 copies for under retail price. Um, just so that you can either stock your store, or if you have like 10 grandkids who are all interested in deer, you can do that too. Or, you know, a lot of birthdays coming up. So, yeah, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd stop by the Kickstarter, give it a look, and give it a share. So here's one of the complete paintings of Connie for the book. This one and the new one might be the only ones that I do because I want to focus a lot on deer in this book. There's going to be a lot of pages with really beautiful drawings of deer, if I do say so myself. And here is a painting of Deerland that I still need to finish, but I'm happy with how the creek is. So the creek right here is done, and I just need to do some more branches, some tree bark over here on the left, and greenery down in the lower right corner, and tighten up a little bit more on the banks. And of course, the story is coming. So I will be working on that in the future as well. So Uh, that's going to be all for tonight. I'm also going to be working on the new painting idea for a little bit, but maybe not on the stream just yet. I'll sketch it out and we'll see how it goes. But I guess this is all for tonight. Thanks for watching. It's it's been good to communicate with you through art because that's what art is for. Let's not ever forget that. Good night.